More and more details are now being released about the capture of Sinaloa drug cartel kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. And we're finding that he was pretty infatuated with the Mexican actress who did him dirty in the end and got him caught. Okay. Now, the Mexican actress in question is Kate del Castillo, and she actually plays a drug kingpin in a show in Mexico. Okay, so
and on Weeds at one point.
Sí.
On the 5th season of Weeds, I think.
So El Chapo is in love with her, right? And so he trusted her and thought that, you know, if anything, if he was ever to tell his life story, it would be through someone that she knows and she trusts. That's when Sean Penn came along because he is obviously a mutual friend. And
she was stupid Sean Penn.
And a big journalist, like huge journalist.
Look,
this guy hits the nail on the head.
People have been very critical of his interview of El Chapo, which I understand. He's not a trained journalist. Who cares? He still had the ability and the opportunity to interview him. He did it, and we got some interesting information through that.
Yes.
Besides, it led to the capture of this guy who got sent to the same maximum security prison that he escaped from. Now they're taking.
Wait, I thought they're taking him to America eventually.
Yeah, they're going to.
They might. The U.S. wants to extradite him, probably because there's some corruption in Mexico, and they're worried that he'll probably escape
What
again.
makes you say that?
Right. But let me give you the details about his infatuation and how that led to him getting captured. So one Mexican government official who chose to remain anonymous said, this was an almost obsessive interest that turned into another incentive to go down to the city where he wanted to meet with her. Another official said Guzman used the code name Hermosa, which means beautiful, when referring to the actress who became famous for her role as a drug lord in a TV series called The Queen of the South.
The South of Mexico.
Yes.
I love the word kingpin because he's like, of all the pins, he was the king. He was such a powerful pin. All the other pins bowed before him.
Okay, so the point I want to make, and I want you guys to jump in on this, is the number one weakness of a man, regardless of how powerful he is, regardless of how ruthless he is as a criminal, as a murderer, as a drug dealer, his weakness is always going to be someone that he's attracted to. Doesn't have to be a woman. Sometimes it could be a guy.
His
but
Achilles heel.
It's his Achilles heel. And that's
For me,
kind of awesome.
my weak point
Yeah.
is my Achilles heel. Like literally, back on the back. If you hit that,
Yeah.
ow. I'll go, ow.
Like Kobe.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it. It's like this weird thing where, and we kind of talked about this on Pop Trigger, where, you know, a lot of us think when what we summon to mind when we see people like El Chapo Guzman is we're trying to figure out what this guy must be like. So we think back to like the TV shows that we've watched. Here's the thing is El Chapo watches TV shows. And so these kingpins start to mimic not only what they need to do or do what the other people in the past have done to get power and glory, but also there's a little bit of that like Hollywood aspect of it, and it draws him to this actress. He wants to have that because it's shiny and it's outside of his world.
Right.
Even though this woman became popular by mimicking El Chapo. So also you've got this strange, you know, it's almost like this egotism and this self-love that he wants. He falls in love with her because she's a female him on TV.
That's a really good way of putting it. I didn't think about it that way.
God, that makes me feel so good about myself.
I thought initially when they captured him, everyone was talking about how he was excited to meet Sean Penn, but I guess I was wrong. Maybe I read that incorrectly. Like I feel like the Western media outlets kind of covered it in a way where it was like, yeah, like of course everyone knows Sean Penn, including El Chapo, and then you look back at the text messages that he had with this lady, and it's like, I don't know who this Sean Penn guy is. I'm Googling him right now, but you know,
he's probably trying to make Sean Penn seem like not such a big deal. That's what I do. It's like, who's your boyfriend now? He's an idiot.
And you say his name wrong, like, who's this John Penn?
Who's this John Penis?
Whatever.
I just think it's so fascinating that, you know, this type of strategy has been used in the past to catch...
The honeypot.
Yeah, the honeypot.
It's a classic.
It's
an episode of Archer.
And it was exactly what was utilized to capture him in this case. And I love that he got captured. I don't love that he's in the same prison that he escaped from, but they're claiming that they're taking proper precautions to ensure that he can't dig tunnels and escape again.
They should build a wall under his cell.
Yeah. Or
They
just
actually
plant a bunch of trees.
They built
around
bars on on the underneath the floor of the prison where he is. So he can't dig through it, or no one can dig through it. And they're also moving him from one cell to another.
The problem was he tunneled through the ground, so they should just suspend him in the air like a supervillain in a Marvel
why
movie.
put him in the same prison? Is that the best Mexico has to offer? I don't
Maybe.
understand.
I don't know why they made that decision. There could be good, legitimate reasons for it, but
Yeah, like a great movie eventually that will come out of this whole fiasco, which I'm excited to watch. It's going to be fucking awesome.